Renewing your nursing license in Utah can be daunting, but what if we told you it's easier than you think? Stay tuned to uncover a step-by-step guide that simplifies the entire process. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're taking those notoriously complex bureaucratic rules and turning them into crystal clear, totally actionable steps.
I know. State regulations, continuing education audits, glitchy government portals, it all sounds like a recipe for a massive headache, right? But honestly, it doesn't have to be. We're going to transform this potentially stressful chore into a simple, predictable routine. We've translated the DOPL handbooks into a super clear roadmap just for you.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going on a 6-step journey today. We'll cover the importance and key deadlines, eligibility and CE requirements, the step-by-step renewal process, fees and payment methods, troubleshooting and best practices, and then we'll wrap it all up with a conclusion and resources.
Section 1. Importance and key deadlines. Let's talk about why timing matters so absolutely much.
So practicing on an expired license isn't just some minor administrative oopsie. It's actually unlawful conduct that can hit you with civil and criminal penalties, including fines up to $7,500. To manage the massive influx of renewals, Utah uses a staggered expiration schedule. And this brilliantly illustrates the setup. If you're an RN, your license expires on January 31st of odd-numbered years. On the flip side, LPNs and APNs expire on January 31st of even-numbered years. It is incredibly easy to trip up on these alternating dates, especially if you hold multiple credentials. So do yourself a favor and circle January 31st on your calendar right now.
Section 2. Eligibility and CE requirements. Now we'll see exactly how you prove your continuing competency.
Here's the good news. Instead of just forcing everyone to sit through hours and hours of static education, Utah uses a really flexible framework. For RNs and LPNs, you basically have 3 distinct pathways to prove your competency over the past 24 months. So, the crucial point is that you just pick the one that fits your workflow. Pathway 1. Complete 400 hours of active, licensed nursing practice. That's it. No additional CEUs required. Pathway 2 is kind of a hybrid track. 200 practice hours combined with 15 hours of approved continuing education. Or there's Pathway 3, the education-only track. 0 practice hours, but you must knock out 30 CEUs. You literally just pick the path that matches what you've actually been doing for the past 2 years.
However, there is one universal, completely non-negotiable requirement for every single nursing license in Utah. You absolutely must complete a state-approved suicide prevention training course. It's a direct public health response to regional wellness priorities. But fortunately, it's super accessible. You can take options like CALM Utah or DOPL's own online safety planning courses. They only take about half an hour, which, let's be real, is about all the free time you have between shifts anyway. And yes, they do count towards your total CEU hours if you happen to be on Pathway 2 or 3.
Now, if you are an advanced practice registered nurse, your requirements are a bit more specialized. To renew an active APRN license, you generally need to maintain your active National Specialty Certification, which covers your baseline competency. But if you hold a controlled substance license, you have mandatory prescribing education. You'll need 3.5 hours of formal coursework in substance use and clinical pain management, plus exactly half an hour completed through the official DOPL online tutorial. Oh, and don't forget the federal DEA MATE Act mandates. That requires a one-time, 8-hour training on substance use disorders.
Section 3. Step-by-step renewal process. Let's get into the actual digital workflow.
All right, we've gathered our certificates. Now it's time to conquer the digital gateway. Utah uses the My License One online portal, and let's see how this builds into a simple 4-step process. First, log in and link your secure Utah ID. Second, verify your demographics. Your current address and phone number. If your name changed recently, you'll upload your legal proof, like a marriage certificate, right here. Third, you'll answer the standard legal questionnaires and formally attest that you completed your continuing competency and that mandatory suicide prevention training. Finally, step 4. Submit your payment via credit or debit card. Easy enough, right?
But wait, there is a very, very important catch regarding step 1. You absolutely need a unique DOPL registration code to link your license properly in the new portal. The state emails this code to your registered email address exactly 60 to 90 days before your expiration date. Listen to me on this. Watch your inbox like a hawk during November and December. It is not easy to retrieve this code outside of that designated 60 to 90-day open renewal window.
Section 4. Fees and payment methods. Let's break down the true cost of renewal.
It's super important for you or your HR department to budget for this. Standard renewal fees in Utah are actually really affordable compared to a lot of other states. It's just $68 to renew an RN or LPN license and $78 for an APRN license. But look what happens the second the clock strikes midnight on January 31st. Those penalties escalate fast. If you're even 1 day late up to 30 days, boom, an immediate $20 penalty is tacked on. Late between 31 days and 2 years, that penalty jumps to $50 on top of your base fee. Plus, remember, you legally cannot work while the license is lapsed.
Section 5. Troubleshooting and Best Practices. Time for some insider tips to keep things smooth.
Now, what's really interesting here is the concept of the hard reset. As your career advocate, I have to give you a warning about this. What happens if life just completely gets in the way and you let your license expire for more than 2 years? You don't just pay a late fee. No, you have to submit an entirely new, costly application. We're talking brand new background checks, fingerprinting, and potentially fulfilling reentry requirements. You want to avoid it 2-year labs at all costs. And regarding audits, well, the state does randomly audit renewals. Because of the affirmation system, you aren't uploading your CEU certificates up front, but if you do get audited, you have to produce them immediately.
So here are some actionable best practices to keep you totally safe. Number 1, when you actually go to the My License One portal to pay, use a desktop or laptop. Seriously, do not use your smartphone. The state officially warns that mobile devices often cause rendering errors during the payment submission phase, and you do not want that headache. Number 2, maintain physical or digital copies of your practice hours and CEU certificates for at least 3 to 4 years. And number 3, if you're an HR professional watching this, automate your credential tracking system to trigger alerts at the 120, 90, and 60-day marks before those odd or even year January 31st deadlines.
Section 6. Conclusion and Resources. Let's summarize the value of getting this right.
Staying compliant is literally the bedrock of your nursing career in Utah. By mastering the steps in this explainer, checking your email for that crucial DOPL code, and knocking out your suicide prevention training early, you are securing your uninterrupted career progress. Now, as a final point of housekeeping, please note, this explainer is intended for informational purposes only and should not be considered as legal advice. Please refer to the official Utah DOPL resources for the most current and accurate information.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground, and now I want to hear from you. We all have our own unique systems for managing the administrative side of nursing. So what is your absolute best strategy for tracking your practice hours and CEUs? Are you trusting a sleek digital app, or are you still relying on an old-school disaster-proof binder? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay compliant, keep up the amazing work you do out there, and I'll see you next time.